All right, today we've got a story for you. It's simple, but man, it's deep. It's all about this unlikely friendship between a girl and a horse. And through them, we're going to unpack what it really means to recover, to be patient, and to find your courage. So let's get into it. But hey, before we even meet them, I want to ask you something. What does real courage actually look like to you? Seriously, is it about not being afraid at all, or is it something different? Just keep that question in the back of your mind as we go through this. Okay, so our story starts with two wounded souls. We've got a young girl and we've got a horse. And yeah, on the surface, they seem like they're from completely different worlds, but they're connected by something you can't see. They're both haunted by the past. So, first, there's Kat. This girl loved horses. I mean, it was her whole world. But then a really bad fall just shattered that. And all that love got replaced with this crippling fear. And then we have Brandy. She's a rescued mare, and you can see the scar on her face that just hints at a rough past. She's terrified of people. So you've got these two very different beings, right? But they're both held captive by the exact same thing, fear. And it's this shared pain, this shared fear, that leads to this incredible moment of connection. You know that feeling when you look at someone or even an animal and you just see your own struggle reflected back at you? That's what happened here. For Kat, looking at Brandy it was like looking in a mirror. This right here just says it all. When Kat sees Brandy for the first time, she feels something familiar. Brandy's fear mirrors her own fear. And this is so important. It's not about feeling sorry for the horse. It's not pity, it's empathy. It's that I get it moment. And that is the spark that starts everything. So, okay, how do you even begin to heal a wound you can't see? A wound like fear? Well, Kat's approach wasn't what you might expect. She didn't try to force anything or fix Brandy. No, she did something much more powerful. She decided to speak a completely different language, the language of patience. And you can see here exactly how that trust was built. It wasn't some grand, dramatic gesture. Nope. It was all about the small things done over and over again. Just sitting there, quietly, offering a little bit of food, using gentle words. Each one of these tiny actions was like laying another brick in a foundation of safety, a foundation of trust that worked for both of them. All right, so all of this quiet, patient work, it's all leading somewhere. It's building up to the story's big emotional turning point. Because once you've built that foundation of trust, at some point, something has to give. Patience has to turn into action. It has to become courage. And so after weeks and weeks of just being there, of these quiet visits, after building this whole language between them without even speaking, the moment arrives, the moment for a real leap of faith. And it all starts with this. It looks so simple, right? Kat just reaches out and puts her hand on Brandy's back. But for her, oh my gosh, this is monumental. It's so much more than just a touch. This is her taking the first real step to face down the very fear that has kept her a prisoner for so long. And from that one touch, she slowly, carefully gets onto Brandy's back. And right there, in that moment, sitting on the one being in the world who truly understood her fear, she feels it. The fear just starts to melt away. It's not like a light switch. Poof, it's gone. It's more like ice melting, slowly being replaced by the warmth of the trust they had built. Piece by patient piece. It's such a beautiful story, right? But it's more than just a nice story. There's a really powerful lesson in here for all of us. So let's kind of zoom out. What can we learn from Kat and Brandy? What does their friendship actually teach us about facing the things that scare us? Yeah, there are a few big takeaways that really jump out. First, real, true friendship, it's built on patience. It just is. Second, wounds can heal. Not just the physical ones, but the emotional ones too. They can get better. Third, animals can be incredible partners in our own healing. And maybe the biggest one of all, you don't beat fear by fighting it head on with force. You overcome it with trust and with support. And that brings us right back to that question I asked at the very beginning, remember? What does real courage look like? Well, I think this story gives us a pretty amazing answer. Courage doesn't mean having no fear. It means facing fear step by step with a friend by your side.
It's not about being some kind of superhero who isn't scared of anything. It's just about having the strength to take that next small step, even when your knees are shaking, especially when you have someone you trust right there with you.